Hi there and welcome to my channel. Today's project is for the Vicki Boutin design team, and today's theme is all about fussy cutting. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna fussy cut pretty much my entire layout. So let me just start. I have two pictures. This is my daughter and my mother with her. They have a really nice relationship, and I wanted to just play with both of them, add a little bit of mixed media, but I want to pretty much, like I said, use a lot of the paper to create this layout. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the entire papers. I debated to what to do with this. I had an idea of my background, but I wanted to just make it very cohesive. So one of the things that I'm going to actually use quite a bit is the rendering paper, and that's the one that has all the little fussy cut parts, like the tags and everything. So I'm gonna use that for my embellishments. And then I found this one that has the 4x6 cards, and I'm actually gonna use some of them to back my pictures. But then the paper that I land on is the narrative paper, and the one that has all the words. So I'm gonna pretty much fussy cut my entire title from it. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna cut the word "so awesome." I'm gonna cut "documented," even though I don't use it. I'm gonna use "happiness," "my life," "your." So I'm just gonna fussy cut a few words that kind of make sense together, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start fussy cutting each one of the letters. Didn't take that long. Letters are pretty basic, so which means there's not that many curves or anything to cut, so it makes it really easy and fast to cut them. And that's gonna become my title, and because the font is quite big, it's gonna take quite a bit of my the landscape of my layout too. So you're gonna see that like I said, I'm just cutting things that make sense, just some of the words, and I'm gonna build a phrase with it. So I'm just playing with it, and I know I'm gonna end up with "hello, beautiful, awesome, happy," and I don't have a happy, so I have a happiness, but I have a Y, so I'm gonna make happy with it. And then I'm gonna bring the word "life." I'm gonna save the document and probably make it to another project later on. So like I said, I just took some time and start fussy cutting. I had to do this first so that I was able to center everything and make sure that everything is based on the title, because it's quite a big title, and I want to make sure like it doesn't stand out on the page. So I'm gonna take my time, fussy cut all the letters, and then start building the layout with the title in hand. This took no time. Like I said, it was straightforward cutting, which is good. And then once I'm ready, I'm gonna start building my layout. So you're gonna see that I've cut my pictures. I know that I want to kind of put them in an offset them, and then kind of intertwine them a bit, and then I'm gonna put my title right next to them. So that's gonna be pretty much the focal point of my layout, and I want to make sure that it stays right on the center of the page. So once I have my title ready and I know where everything is gonna sit, then I know what I want to do for my background, for my little mixed media. It's gonna be very simple mixed media. I'm gonna draw a rectangle with pencil on the background. So my rectangle sits 4 centimeters from the left, 4 centimeters from the right, 8 centimeters from the bottom, and I'm gonna say around 7.5 centimeters from the top, because when I measure it, I forgot to take the little tab from the paper, so that's around 0.5 centimeter. So I'm gonna say around, like I said, 4 centimeters from each one of the right and left, and around 8 centimeters from the top and bottom. So I'm just gonna make sure that I pencil it, and once I have that, I'm actually gonna mask the area around it. I wanna add the mixed media just to the rectangle that's on the center that I'm drawing right now, and that's just I'm gonna keep it fairly simple. I want everything else to stand out, so I'm just gonna make sure that I bring some color so that everything that I'm gonna put on top of it stands out. So all I'm doing, I'm using actually masking tape. This is just from the dollar store. I've had quite a few issues with it. You're gonna see that it covers, and I have a really thick one, by the way. It covers most of the area. There's gonna stay a little bit of the color that's gonna seep underneath it, not much, and I don't mind it. I didn't want a perfect science, but I wanted most of it, my mixed media, to be confined to this area. So what I'm gonna use to add my mixed media is art crayon, and I'm using a foundation paper as the background, so that's what I'm not adding gesso to it. So I'm gonna stay within the warm tones, and for that I am using the peach and I think the maroon tone too, and I'm just scribbling on a piece of acrylic. I'm gonna add some water to dilute it and create my pigment, and the way I'm gonna apply the pigment in this case is using a brayer. I just want to roll it, I just want to cover the area, nothing special. I'm just adding color, and it is going to bring when you apply color through a brayer, it is going to create those drag lines, and also some of the pigment is going to pull at the bottom of the drag line, and I don't mind that. I actually like the distress that is created on my page. So one of the things though, it is going to take quite a bit of mixed media, in this case or a liquid watercolor, just because I'm stretching it through that little piece of canvas. So I'm just gonna have to build the color, and by that I mean mixing the art crayon with some water a few times just to cover the area. But it took no time. This is a quick way to apply mixed media onto the layout. In reality, this layout comes together pretty easy. It's just, like I said, the fussy cutting, and then the mixed media is a very simple mixed media application. It's just going to bring a subtle amount of color to the background. So you're going to see that I'm just making sure that all the areas within the rectangle that I masked are covered with color. And then just to finish, I'm going to add some splatters using the same diluted pigment. Once I have that, I'm actually going to bring a little bit of black crayon that's from the neutral set. I'm going to scribble it on my piece of acrylic. I'm going to dilute it with some water, and I'm just going to add a few splatters onto my page. I just want to bring some black because I have black and white pictures, sorry. And I like the accent of the black. So once I have that, I'm going to make sure that it dries completely. So while that is drying, I'm going to continue fussy cutting the pieces for my layout. Now I'm going to cut butterflies from the mariposa paper, and I'm going to focus on butterflies, the peach butterfly, a few black and white, and there is two ones of color, one that has quite a few colors and one that has peach and teal in it in the wings. I'm going to pull out only those. So I'm going to pull out 3 black and white, 3 peach, and 3 of the teal and peach, and I'm going to make sure they come in different sizes. I want to make sure that I have a large, a medium, and a smaller one. I went through the 6x8. This is not one of the papers that's on the 6x8 paper pad, so I had to make sure that I play with the paper so I find different sizes. Once I fussy cut that, pretty much my background is dry. So I want to add a little bit of texture now. I wanted a very simple texture for the background, so I went with an older stencil, and I believe this stencil is from if I'm not mistaken, this stencil is from Field Notes, so it's quite old. And I also brought a rose gold glaze, which is no longer available, but I have a little bit of it. But I'm gonna mix it with a bit of so I want to take the shine away from it. I don't want it to be that dark, that deep. So I'm going to mix it, and it's going to make a really light color paste that pretty much looks like the color of my background. And the way I'm going to apply the glaze is just to the corners of the application. I'm going to start heavy on the corners and kind of make it disappear as they go towards the center of the page. That's just going to create a little bit just bring the attention of the texture to the corners. I know quite a bit of this is going to be covered. You're still going to be able to see it, but like I said, I want very simple mixed media on this page. I want most of it to show to be covered with stuff that I'm cutting. So I'm going to make sure that this dries, and while it's dry, I'm just going to carefully peel it, and you're going to see that I'm going to have a clean edge. I'm still going to have a little bit of the mixed media kind of run from underneath the tape, but it's okay, I don't mind it. But I'm still looking for the perfect paper that is gonna mask my area without ripping my paper. Still haven't found the one, but it's okay, I don't mind it. So now that I have my little rectangle of mixed media, my background ready, I'm gonna go ahead and start building my layout. So you're gonna see that I've already fussy cut all my elements, so everything else is gonna come quite simple. I'm gonna use a piece of ephemera. There's those big those bingo cards. I'm gonna bring one to be the layer behind one of the pictures, and I'm gonna glue it a little bit on an offset. I don't want to like have straight lines. I am gonna cut one of the 4x6 papers from the rendering paper, and I'm gonna use that to back the second picture. And like I said, I'm gonna put them on an offset. I'm gonna kind of overlap them and put them on an angle right on the left hand side of my little mixed media. It's gonna come off the area of the mixed media, and I'm okay with that. I just want the pictures to kind of tell the story. They have quite a bit of negative space, so I'm gonna make sure that I cover that. Like I said, I'm going to try my best to keep most of what like the main focus of the layout inside the little rectangle of mixed media that I have. So you're gonna see that right now I'm just playing with everything is gonna sit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start fussy cutting the papers the embellishments from the rendering paper. And for this, I'm gonna cut some of the little tickets. I'm gonna cut some of the washi tapes. I am gonna cut a few of the tags. I want to use the tags just to add some more layers behind the pictures. I'm gonna use the tickets just to help me with the embellishment and layering, and also the washi tape pieces just to help me with the sentiments. To cut the little tags, I know that the circular edges that the little tickets have, sorry, not the tags, I use a punch hole just to help me with creating that. And then it's just super simple fussy cutting. That's the advantage of most of these pieces. Very straightforward, didn't take that long. So you're gonna see that right now. I'm just gonna start setting everything. Like I said, the tags are gonna help me with layering. I'm gonna use the tickets just to embellish and add some interest, some layers behind it. Once I have that in place, I'm actually gonna start building my title. And I think I pulled it out of the camera just because it was straight gluing onto the page. And one of the things that I'm gonna bring is some stickers from the sticker tablet and also from the cardstock sticker, just to help me bring some more interest to the pictures. Not much. After that, like I said, I'm gonna start working on the title, and I went off camera to start gluing it, and I just glued it straight onto the mixed media. And why I took it off camera, just because I had to make sure that everything lined up. I want my title to be within the little rectangle that I created. So you're gonna see that I just went and I'm just gluing everything in place. And once I have that ready, I'm just gonna go ahead and start adding the butterflies. And the way I'm gonna add them is, I want to make sure that the biggest butterfly is right on the left corner of my layout, right next to the picture. And then I'm adding the washi tapes right next to them. A little bit of foam adhesive is gonna help keep them in place. After that, I'm just gonna place the butterflies. I'm gonna add a little bit of foam adhesive behind them so that they look that they're flying into the title and around the pictures. So I'm gonna make sure that I have the same sizes. I have a graduating size, sorry, and that I have the different colors. And that's pretty much all I'm gonna have. The butterflies are gonna help me kind of pull this layout together. And you're gonna see once I have that in place, the only thing that I have left to do is add my lines to journal, and those are going to go right between the washi tape strips and the bottom butterflies. Another thing that I'm going to add is a few phrase stickers, and I'm going to pull them from the tablet, from the sticker tablet, just because I think I need to add embellishments to the butterflies. Another thing that I added was a little chipboard butterfly right at the top right corner of the layout. I just needed a third butterfly there, but I wanted something smaller and I couldn't find anything, so I went into the chipboard sticker and I found this tiny one, and that just helps me tie it together and give the impression that they're flying away. Now the only thing that I realized is, remember, I work standing up to be able to film, so I can see the top of the page like completely. It's not centered the way I'm looking at it, but when I lift up the paper, I realize that the layout is a little bit bottom heavy. And You see right now I'm just adding a few drops of gold ink. You can mix gold glaze and just add it, dilute it and add it. I didn't have it at hand right now when I was working, but I had gold ink right next to me, so I'm just gonna add a few drops. But going back, like I said, the layer was a little bit on bottom heavy, so my choice is I'm gonna cut around half an inch strip from the top of the layer, just because I have extra white space at the top, and then I'm gonna make up the bottom with 2 strips of paper. I'm gonna bring a piece of the mariposa paper because it has that kind of peachy tone, and then the big strip at the bottom is the B side. It has this purple paper with little white circles. Can't remember the name right now, but that just kind of centers everything nicely. After that, all I'm gonna do is just add some more embellishments, and I just added a few chipboards and just some string behind the tags, and that's about it. Like I said, my lines of journal are gonna go between the washi tape and the butterflies at the bottom, but that's pretty much my layout. I love how this turned out. It really took only an hour to put together, just because the mixed media had to dry, but it was so much fun to put together, and I hope you try it. As always, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me. Remember that you can find all the details in the blog, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Take care, guys.